Hello, everyone. I'm Dr. Nancia Leath, and I am the host for Raw Stories. I'm very excited about today because we're going to have amazing ladies that's going to talk to you about universities, their why, as well as you're going to also talk to someone that's in India. I'm excited about her as well, and she's going to talk about her business and what you can do to make your businesses go global, as well as talking about even going to universities abroad. So I'm so excited. You may hear it in my voice. I'm like, so excited. Thank everyone that's joining us right now. I'm about to bring on to you now Nel. Sorry, Nel. Hi, Nel.
Hi, how are you?
Good. I'm too excited. You know, when I get excited, I'm like, oh my God, I
Yeah.
am so excited. Because even I was just talking with Nel earlier about the different things she was talking about African American universities and what I learned from the conversation we spoke earlier. I'm excited about what you're going to tell amazing people that have been ever heard of or your perspective concerning African American schools. But before we get started, please tell us a little about yourself.
Okay, my name is Nel Hamer Carroll, but actually my first name is Algernon. Yes, Algernon.
Okay.
And Nel came from my oldest brother. When I was born, he was 7 years old, so he could not say my first name. So I've had Nel since I was 3 days old. Born and partly raised in Newark, New Jersey. Then we migrated to Wilmington, North Carolina, where Burgaw. And from there, I moved to Fayetteville to go to Fayetteville State University in Charlotte. Here in Charlotte now for 21 years. I am an accounting and HR administrator for a wonderful company. I work for engineers. It's based out of North Carolina, South Carolina, and Tennessee. So I've been doing this line of work now for ever since I've been out of college. I obtained my bachelor's in accounting and economics at Fayetteville State University.
Wow.
My MBA at Strayer University in accounting, and I'm now currently working on my doctoral degree in business administration, leadership, and human resource.
Wow.
Prayerfully, I'll be done by the summer. That's my prayer. And talk about the university. To be honest with you, FSU was not my first choice.
Really?
No, it was not.
Okay.
I actually got accepted to a college in Largo, Maryland called Prince George College. And I was going to move there to stay with my aunt. But my father said, baby girl, you're not going to go. So he told me that I was going to go to Fayetteville State University. And that's how I wound up there. And I'm so glad he did. To back up even further, Fayetteville State is like a history school for me because that's where my mother and father met and married.
So I was going to ask you the why. So you just answered my thoughts. Okay, got it.
That's one of the biggest why. It is a family school.
Okay.
Not only that, I have uncles and aunts, and one of my aunts who went to Fayetteville State as well, she is still marked in history as being the youngest graduate. Her name at that time was Bertha Barnes, but she married my uncle who also went there, Forrest Hamer. So Bertha Barnes Hamer, it was the youngest graduate. She was 16 years old when she graduated from Fayetteville State. She had to go straight in to get her master's because she couldn't work at the age of 16 back then.
Right.
It was back in 1945, 50. You couldn't work in a school system. So she had to go straight into getting her master's.
Wow.
So, so it's a lot of history there for me. I love FSU. I love it. And like I was telling you before, it may seem like it's a Black thing, air quotes, but it's really not. It actually taught me how to be diverse.
Really?
And and if I actually move that to my children as well. As you know, that my kids, they attend historically Black college, North Carolina A&T, which is reigned as the #1 HBCU in the country.
Okay. Can you stop for 1 minute? What does HBC means?
Historically,
Educate people never heard of it.
HBCU, historically Black colleges and universities.
Got it. Got it. Got it.
HBCU.
Mm-hmm.
So my kids, both of them are in college. One is now, she just became a senior. She'll be graduating December 2020.
Mm-hmm.
And my son is a freshman and he'll be graduating May of 2023.
Okay.
And they love it.
Mm-hmm.
I can truly say they're some smart kids. My daughter is mass media production in English, and my son is kinesiology.
Got it.
I can't say enough about attending a Black university if you're Black. And there's some Caucasian that attend as well, and they get just as much as we do. It's history. To me, it was learning more about who I was, and they taught me, and it was also family for me.
Okay.
I actually, to this day, I have great relationships, great bonds with people that I met 30 years ago.
Wow.
One of my roommates, she was my maid of honor in my wedding. I was a matron of honor in her wedding, and she's also my daughter's godmother. So, you create these bonds, and it just filter over, it just into your life. And it just helped me. One of the things I love too, and I was telling you about being diverse, it taught me how to, and I wasn't a person that could actually speak in front of people.
Okay.
So when they kind of push you into running for something. So I'm just thinking, okay, if you think I can do it, I'm gonna do it, So my freshman year, I ran for freshman class treasurer. Of course, I didn't win, but it taught me how to get in front of the student body, and present myself.
Wow.
So it was more of just
presentation skills. Okay.
Yes, it was a lot of skills, hands-on. It was all about the books because I'm a great accountant in economics.
Right.
I got all that. But it taught me how to be Nel.
Got it. So that confidence you needed to be
exactly.
Okay. Got it. Okay.
So I love that part about it. And from then on, I ran for Miss this, Miss that, and I even ran for Miss FSU. I was just running in the parade, just waving my hands, and I love that part about it. But again, the relationships that I've had now, I can look back and say, I thank God for that. It just truly got me to be who I am today.
So if you compare yourself, I know that was years ago, but if you compare yourself before you went to college, based off your personality and your confidence and your self-esteem, how did college advance, or how did college improve you in those areas?
People skills.
Okay.
Yes, I was up under my mother, and remember I'm in church all my life, So,
okay, got it.
But it taught me again to know how to differentiate this from that. Being away from home helped as well.
Got it.
Be more responsible. And even though I was away from home, I had people who still held me accountable.
Okay.
Because they saw who I was. And you know how people can gravitate to you and they can see, she's a good girl or he's a good guy. I'm gonna make sure they're okay.
Right.
And what I loved about our chancellor at that time was Chancellor Hackley. Chancellor Hackley was not the person that was just behind the desk or in this big office. He would walk the campus and he would stop you and ask you, how are you doing?
Okay.
Do you need anything? So when you see people of that caliber stopping to talk to you and was so concerned, it pushed you to want to do better. And not to act out of character. Because you felt that people were watching you and depending on you to be an example for the other ones that was coming behind you.
Okay. Wow. Yeah. Okay. Got it. So basically what you're saying is because of the community you had including the chancellor.
Yeah,
It
even
motivated you to even to launch out, as well as your behavior was, in a way that it was presented to yourself, as well as making sure back home. However, I want to know about your confidence though, because I notice a lot of young ladies when they may go to college, and I notice, especially when they go to like African American school, they become more confident. They become more their self-esteem. I notice the difference if they go to a predominant white school. They still second guess themselves or still trying to fit in. I know you said it taught you how to be diverse. How did it teach you to be diverse when you're in a predominantly Black environment? And also, how did that environment help build your confidence?
Well, I guess growing up for us, we felt as if one race was superior than the other.
Right. Okay.
So going to a Black college, I'm gonna just say Black college, going to a Black college caused me to say, you can do it just as well as they can. And I'll show you how you can do it.
Got it.
So when I get out, or when I got out, I was toe to toe, and hey, I was very confident in who I was because he told me I can do it. She showed me I can do it. It was the way they talked to me. And it wasn't so much of talking, it was they were showing me as well, even in their character, the way they carried themselves. So that kind of just put something in me, kind of like light a fire in me, say, if they can do it, I can do it too. And I also instill that in my kids. And it's, it's not even about race, because we are all equal. We know when we get to heaven, there's no race, nothing like that. So we have to actually teach our kids that we are all one. But again, it's because of society, it's always been like one is over here and one's down here. But when I got to school, it was like, no, let me show you this how you can do it. When it comes to etiquette and how to talk and look at people in their eyes, they said, this is what you need to do. So when I got out, I was doing the same thing they were doing, but I'm just a different color.
Got it. I love it. I'm glad, because I wanted to go on that tangent because that's very important. To be honest with you, I'm trying to do it in a graceful way.
Yes.
So basically, what I love about it is even when you went to an African American environment or predominantly African American, it taught you the skills to be confident. Yes. And not shrink back, because to be honest with you, in a majority white environment, even from elementary up, you always second guess yourself. Majority of the kids, or you have, based off research and evidence, that kids that don't or exposed to a predominant environment, they may shrink back or feel less than, or may not understand their value. So what I heard you say was, by going to African American or predominant African American school, you was aware of your value. You was aware of who you were as a person. And so when it was time for you to go out into the real world, you was able to present yourself based on who you were, not based on what other people may have perceived you to be.
I felt
love it.
I felt like there's nothing I couldn't do. And right now, I shared with you earlier, I work for a predominantly white company. And to be only 2 Black females in the whole company, and this is a nice size company. Right. I am over the accounting department and HR department. So that says a lot. And they see my value. We work for majority of men. And they went to state and Clemson and all that. So, those are predominantly
engineering. Yes.
So for me to come in here and handle some taxes and handle your HR stuff with no problem, it's like, wow.
That is so good, because that's very important, because even with your confidence, because people treat you based on how you feel about yourself.
About myself.
Yes. That is very good. Oh, this is so good.
Because even though you can put it on a piece of paper, it was wonderful on paper. However, how are you presenting yourself?
Exactly.
Not what the paper's saying.
Yes.
What are you doing? How are you presenting what's on that piece of paper?
Right. It's so good. I'm enjoying this conversation, because the key thing is, even with women, because right now the women who thrive is listening to you. Right now we're close to 10K, which is awesome. And hopefully they are listening to this conversation. The African Americans, as well as Caucasian or Indian or Asian, regardless, they all are hearing this. And the good thing is understanding the idea of not the separation or trying to, there's moments in your life that you need to be in a situation that you are built up, or
Yes, that
you
it will
understand
push you
your
or drive
value
you.
because of the world.
Yes, yes,
Right. Not
yes.
because you're jealous, not because you're
Mm-mm.
prejudiced, or
Mhm.
because the idea of needing that because you're in the world every day by being a minority. However, in Africa, I was blessed to go to Rwanda, you feel the completely opposite. It's like you
Wow.
predominant, African American, so you feel like, oh, you don't feel that, that value.
Yeah, it's the culture. It's
Yeah,
the
the
culture.
culture. Hmm.
And I thank God for the culture of the school or the university. Again, no, it never taught you to be prejudiced. That
Right.
has never been
That's
the
good.
standard,
Hmm.
never been a standard of an HBCU school.
Hmm.
Nobody, no, I mean, no, But it did teach you to be, again, confident in who you are and what
Hmm.
you do, knowing
Hmm.
that you can do anything. It doesn't matter your race, your nationality. It doesn't matter. You can do anything because of the fact when I was in school, we had some Caucasian people that came to school,
Right.
and I mean, I'm like, hey, and
Yes.
a few of them on our
You
sorority
welcome all. Right.
sisters.
That's good.
So,
Hmm.
I mean, it's not even about color. It's about confidence in what you can do. I
Hmm.
thank God for my education. My education is wonderful. And hear me when I say this. Every college is what you make it.
Exactly. That's
So,
good.
so
Yes.
it's not about I got to go to Purdue. I got to go to state. I got to go. No, I went to Fayetteville State University, FSU, a
Hmm.
small university.
Hmm.
That come on. I mean, you know what Fayetteville State
Yes. Yes. My mom worked
I
there.
mean,
Yes. I know it totally.
yes, a very small school.
Hmm.
But the people that came out of it and the caliber of people that came out of it,
Hmm.
I'm telling you, it is mind blowing. So it's not about the school, it's who you are and what you
Exactly.
make of it.
Exactly. That is so good.
Mhm.
Thank you so much for giving us information. And later on, we're going to ask all of the people that are listening or our audience to ask questions.
Okay.
And so we're going to bring in Purvi so we can talk to her about her business and what she's doing abroad. And so please hold on with us.
Yes.
Don't leave us. But thank you so much. That was awesome.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Thank you all so much for listening to Nel. That was a lot of information. But if you have questions, please go ahead and post, and we're going to make sure we ask those questions towards the end. And I'm excited about the next young lady we're about to bring up. How are you? I don't think we can hear you. I think you can have us on mute.
Thank you so
Awesome.
much. Thank you so much for having me here.
Oh, I'm so happy you're here. And what time it is during your
6:45 a.m.
Oh, thank you so much. Oh my goodness. Thank you
Most
so
welcome.
much. So please pronounce your name because I do not want to mess it up. That's why I make sure.
My name is Purvi Tantia.
Okay. And tell us a little about yourself, Purvi.
So I have been a global consultant for the last 10 years. So I started my journey as a consultant when I came back from Australia. I'm in India, and I actually went to Australia to study on Australian government endeavor scholarship.
Okay.
So I came back and I started my consultancy where I was helping students and families to decide what exactly the future career options could be or future education options could be. And on the B2B side, I was helping universities across the world, including a lot of universities in the States or Australia or UK and other countries, to help strategize their recruitment activities globally. So that was what I did for like 10 years. And for the past 2 years, I have been helping mentoring women from all across the world to really get to their first $10,000 revenue mark. And I have a business coaching program for them where they come in from all across the world and they really have that energy to go and get it and reach their first $10,000 a month. So that's what I've been doing. And this coaching program is run under MindWaves Consulting School for Women, which is a cloud school on the cloud where women from all over the world can actually come in and get to their dream $10,000 a month.
Wow. So you said you've been doing that for 2 years, correct?
I have been doing it for 2 years, not as a commercial MindWaves consulting school, but more on the voluntary basis and one-off case. And when I saw the ladies that I actually coached got immense amount of results. One of the ladies actually said that she raised her revenue by 800%. And then I
Wow.
was like, I need to do it properly and literally as formally as I can. So on 1st
Mhm.
of January, I launched MindWaves Consulting School, where now I run this group coaching program, and I do a lot of other tasks in MindWaves Global,
Mhm.
which is a subsidiary of MindWaves, whereby we're really putting females in the limelight, in the spotlight, who have been a global consultant, who've been serving the world in different arenas. Could be health coaching, could be wealth coaching, business coaching, or relationship coaching.
Mhm.
And women in consulting primarily, we are highlighting them on MindWaves Global. So I did a virtual summit with 60 speakers from over 20, 25 countries.
Yes.
And yeah, so that's how the entire concept of MindWaves came up, whereby it's all about empowering women to become more financially independent through the arenas of consultancies that they can really take. So turning your passion to profit through consultancy and through becoming a global consultancy. That's what we're really aiming at.
Wow. So how many women have you impacted so far within the 2 years?
Wow. If you really have to see the numbers, I would say the direct numbers could be smaller, but the snowball effect could be really, really huge, because
Mhm.
my videos have got like thousands, like probably over 100,000 views,
Okay.
uh, literally in the last few months itself. And when we talk about mentoring program in the last 2 years, because it was not really so formally structured, it was probably less than 100. But now it's fully structured. I've started my first cohort, which basically has representations of 3 countries. And we are launching our next cohort very, very soon. So yeah, numbers are really snowballing now.
Got it. Wow. I'm very excited about that. And you said one lady, she multiplied 800%.
Yes, yes. I asked her, I was like, are you serious? She's like, yeah, I can actually show you my bank account statements. I was like, wow, was it really that impactful? And that led me to really put it together in a way that I can really run it as a formal school. So now it's a
Mhm.
proper coaching program. We meet on live Q&A calls. We literally have people getting up at 5 a.m. in the morning
Mhm.
from the United States of America,
Mhm.
who would actually get up at 4:30 and be there on live camera at 5 o'clock, so that we can do our live Q&A. So the energy of the group is really, really high, and that's what I'm really loving it.
Got it. And the women in the group, do they already have business or do you help them start business? What's the stages?
I think most of the women that we have, they already have businesses, although we
Mhm.
have one who wants to shift from a 9 to 5 job to a full time business consultancy.
Mhm.
And yeah, but most of them would be at the level whereby they're really struggling not to have time enough, or not to have enough clients, or they don't know how to package their product. So I
Mhm.
actually follow, so my formula is called Road to $10,000 Mark,
Okay.
whereby I teach 4 aspects, which is ROAD in consultancy terms. R stands for research and development. It's about finding your niche and really helping them solve a problem. So find a problem that you want to solve as a global consultant. O is
Mhm.
for operations, which includes both technical and manual bits that you need to do, because most women in consulting find it difficult to really embrace technology when it
Mhm.
comes in, and it's overwhelming for them. So it's to ensure that they reduce their life overwhelm. I introduce technological tools that they can really use in their day-to-day business. A is for awareness and acceptance, which is all about marketing and sales, which most of the women think that it's not a part of the business, but it's something that they can do on ad hoc basis. So
Okay.
marketing to be really streamlined. And last is D for delivery, which I think all the women who are really in consulting and who love serving the world are very good at. But I think they only do delivery and they don't do ROA. And that's why they really get less time to spend with family, less time to really take self care, and less time to really spend on growing the business and growing the impact. So yeah, with this entire formula, I say it's a road to $10,000 a month. So that's what we really do.
That is amazing. Do you implement I call like a tunnel? How is it set up? How, I guess the introduction, how do you set them up? What's the, I know you gave me the acronym, but if you have a person that's just making 5,000 a month, um, what will you do? What would be the first thing you do to help them the
The
first step?
first, so the acronym ROAD actually is in the order as well. So the
Okay.
first thing I would do is research and development, which basically leads to the result of having a product. Now, in
Okay.
consultancy, we always say, hey, you want to come to me for a solution? I can give you X, Y, Z, C things, and you can actually tell me and I'll customize it for you. That's usually how most women in consulting really deal. But if you really have to reach your first $10,000 a month, the easiest thing is to really go for one niche, one micro niche, have one
Mhm.
product, which is possibly a common problem to all of them, and you're really solving that. And with product, I basically mean if you come to me and say, hey, Purvi, how can you help me in business coaching? I will say, hey, I will actually help you reach your first $10,000 a month mark. So that's it. So it's an easy description of what you have to offer. So, give them something which they can really tangibly feel and think and really react to and say, hey, I want this. And somebody might come and say, hey, I'm not at a level where I want $10,000 a month. And somebody else might actually come and say that, hey, wow, can I really do it? So you have to give them something tangible to really think, rather than most women in consulting doing for a very long time. And I'm also guilty of that in the initial years of my career, where I would say, hey, you come to me, we will talk, and I'll customize a solution for you. That's not how we work. So the first step is research and development, where research is about finding the niche or the micro niche that you really can serve. For example, I was listening to the lady before me, and she said that she went to a school which was all for American and African ladies. So the niche for that school is American African ladies. And what they really figured out is, if we really can instill confidence in them and more confidence in them, they will really be even better in the workforce. So they figured out the niche was American African, and the problem that they wanted to solve was confidence in those ladies.
Right.
So you as a consultant have to ensure that you have a product which is being solved for one particular type of people. Because when you go all out and say, for example, an African American school, if it's known because it's an American African school.
Right.
If it was just a university, she probably wouldn't be talking about it like that. So you need to be known for something in your consulting business. And that's the first thing I help solve. Because without that, even if I try and step you into OAD of road, you would actually really not be able to balance yourself.
Right.
So that's where I start from.
Wow, that is awesome. With the people, I know you saying it was a snowball effect. The ladies that you was able to impact the past 2 years, have all of them reached a 10K month?
No. So basically, this program, which is $10,000 month mark, which is the road to $10,000, was launched on 1st of January this year. So we had the first cohort going on in the group coaching program. And the previously, whatever I did was more on the basis that I told you, which was, hey, I will actually help you. And to be very honest, the last 2 years, it wasn't really done as a business. It was done more like, hey, women actually approached me. I actually spoke on literally prestigious stages in 5 countries last year, including TedX in America and Florida. And I actually met so many women, and I found that a lot of them actually were struggling with their businesses. So most of the time in the last 2 years, it was more of voluntary attachment to a cause of somebody who was struggling in business, and I could actually help them. So it wasn't so formal. But then when I started taking 1 or 2 cases and I actually saw so much results, I was like, let me come here and do it formally. So this is my first cohort which is going on, and they're really, really getting immense results. Like, we have really changed the way they used to function, have more time. It's very funny, but literally the calendar that we really follow, and each of us really become accountable to each other, including me. I'm also accountable to them. And that's why I'm up at this morning, literally fresh and sitting in front of you and doing, because we have a calendar where we really make each other accountable. So they can see my calendar, what did I do in the morning? So, and we actually have time which we really freeze for family time. So this time you cannot take work because this is family time. The entire purpose is to tell women that you can actually thrive in business and still have the life that you want. You can have time for self-care, you can have time for family, you can earn way more, and you can really get less overwhelmed. So it's not about hard work leading to a lot of money. It's about smart work and bigger mission that leads you to bigger money, because then you solve bigger problems. And when you solve more problems or bigger problems, you get more money.
Got it. Wow. If someone wanted to use your services, how would they go about connecting with you?
Yeah, so we have the applications running for the second cohort. The first cohort is on, so I actually closed the first cohort. So because there's energy in the group that I really want to continue, so we end this cohort and then we start with the second cohort. So applications for the second cohort are open. They can actually message me and I can send them the details. And I would actually look forward to applications, and I would make sure that when you come in the group, you are high on energy. And that's why the application process is very selective. So I had many ladies who actually applied for the first cohort, but I really selected them who really were the go-getters, that yes, I want it. Because if you think the road to $10,000 is easy, I will make it as easy as possible for you. So I'm using the shortest possible route to get you there. but you really need to do the work. So it's something that I can show you the direction, I can show you what needs to be done, I can give you the group energy, I can give you the accountability, I can give you the tools that needs to be done, but you need to do the work. Like, and one of the things is definitely getting up early in the morning and doing the work. So if you're really ready for it, then we have a selection procedure, and I actually built the entire selection procedure on the basis of my experience of helping students from all across the world reaching B schools, like top B schools across the world. I've helped students going to Harvard, to Chicago, to Melbourne Business School, or to National University of Singapore, or you name a university internationally. I have sent probably a student there to Purvi School for an MBA program. And I used to guide them as to why will the university take you in the first place. You know, you just can't say, hey, take me, even if you're paying $100,000 to a university. They will not say, just come and take me. And I have exactly the same principles at MindWaves Consulting School. So you apply, we do a selection. If you really think you are the go-getter, and if you are the one who can really contribute to the community in a way that it comes back to you, then we get you on board. Otherwise, we definitely give you our free resources like virtual summits. So I've done a virtual summit on the topic of how to get international clients without paid advertising. So I actually got wisdom of 60 women who have got international clients in the past, put together literally 60 ways of how to get international clients without spending a single penny on advertising cost.
Wow.
And so you would definitely, if you're not selected by any chance at the moment for MindWaves Consulting School cohort, I definitely tell you, do the other resources, like go to my free summits and attend the paid summit all access passes. And in that, get to a level where you feel that now I'm prepared for the $10,000 mark, and then apply again.
Right.
And if you do that, I am more than happy to consider you again. And then you could possibly be a part of the program. So the mission is to really serve everyone, but the mission is also to take people in the group in the MindWaves Consulting $10,000 program only if you are ready for it, prepared for it, you're ready to make that bigger impact. And that's when we welcome you in the cohort, because the energy is very high for the group. So if your energy is low, you will not be able to cope up in the group. It's not about hard work. It's about everybody's so energetic. Like, as I told you, people are getting up literally at 4:30 a.m. in the morning, join the call at 5 a.m. The people who are actually making each other accountable. We can actually have, I think if at all we get upset, it's all about, hey, why didn't you spend time with your family last day? Right. It's not about, and I actually am guilty of that. So yesterday I had like my virtual summit interviews from 6 a.m. in the morning till 11 p.m. in the night, continuously without, I just had 1.5 hour break. So I know I am guilty, and I would be held accountable in the group. Why didn't you have your family time yesterday? Right. So that's how we really have the energy and compassion growing in the group.
Wow. And when you do look at an application, how do you weed them out? How can you tell a person have energy? Do you do like a face-to-face application? How does that work?
No, so I think we have a virtual school. It's a school in the cloud. So we have a form which you really fill up. So there's a proper form to fill up, like you fill up for the B school admissions. You fill up the details. You mention why you want to do it, how you want to do it, what exactly is that we can add, and what exactly is that you can add to the group. So there's a proper, I would say, system to find out if you are a good fit for us and we are a good fit for you. And then you actually have a small interview with me, and then you get on board.
Okay, so you do have a face-to-face, so you can tell after that. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
On the Zoom, we do an interview, and then you actually get the final call if you have been selected. And if you're not been selected, we are still happy to serve you with a lot of free resources that we have and a lot of other things that we could do. But for the signature program, we just want everybody to thrive. So we say, come when you're prepared. Come when you're really prepared to create a bigger mission and impact.
That's awesome. Wow. Wow. I love it. So how long are the, I know you said you're about to start another new cohort. How long are the first service or the time period for each one?
So each cohort is 1 month, which is 4 weeks. So we ensure that in 4 weeks, you really understand the entire road to $10,000 method, and you also really get very, very close to it, or you possibly earn it. As is the first cohort, I'm really keeping my fingers crossed that before the cohort really leaves for the next level of their life, they would have reached the $10,000 mark. And we are all very, very strongly really working towards it. So I will give you results very, very soon, but that's what the aim is. The entire group believes that they can, and I believe that they can. And that's why I think they can.
That is awesome. And you indicated if the person, if they do try to apply and they may not be accepted, you also provide resources. And you one of them, you said one of the resources was connected with international clients. Can you give us what would be on that documentation since it's
Yes,
free?
sure. Definitely. Yeah. So people who cannot really be or are not accepted at this point in time for the MindWaves Consulting School signature program, they can actually get access to my virtual summit. You can just DM me and I will send you the link and details. The virtual summit is a summit where I've collated 60 women speakers from all across the world, from every single continent on this planet Earth, except for Antarctica, I promise. And women have actually very wisely come up and shared their wisdom as to how they have been getting international clients, how they've been serving international clients, what are the things that you really need to do to become a global consultant, how you can be more productive, how you can systemize your activities better. So I've really put together that entire wisdom in TED style talks. Yes, because I'm a TED speaker. I just love that TED style conversation. So it's me and them speaking like this on a live interview. And I'm asking them questions on 3 patterns, which is what, why, and how. So what did you do to get international clients? Why do you think it worked for you? And how can other women in consulting replicate that to really reach that level of international clients and get more international clients? So that's a summit with 60 speakers. You can actually attend it free if you just want to attend it free. But if you're attending it free, it's running live from 25th January to 31st January. And each day I open some speakers up. So you can actually see it on that particular time frame. Or if you want an all-access pass, you can actually spend $97 and get an all-access pass where you have all the speaker accesses to you forever. So you can just go back to it again and again, refer to it, implement something. Every single talk, I have ensured that you have an implementation nugget. So you can actually listen to a 20-minute talk or 18-minute talk and you can say, hey, I got this idea. This is what I need to do. These are the 3 steps. I do it and I get it. So, for example, one of the females from America, one of our speakers, who is an addiction coach, she actually came up and she has been on probably multiples, I think over 10 TV shows in America. And she literally boiled down what exactly it is required to get on a TV show, why exactly it helps her to get more international clients, and how can any women in consulting get on a TV show in America. Right. She literally charted out the entire step-by-step process of how she got to ABC, NBC, CNN, and what exactly she needs to do and what exactly we could do. How can we do the follow-up with producers? Who exactly you need to speak to, how you need to speak to. And she said, my biggest tool has been to be on American television. And that's how I've been getting international clients, because that adds on to credibility of my work and me. So we have like such powerful nuggets. Each of these speakers, if you really go to them, many of these speakers even charge as high as $1,000 to $2,000 for a consultation. So I've really put together a very, very valuable summit with probably thousands of dollars of wisdom together. And I'm happy to give it for free if you want to get access only for the live days for 12 particular interview, or in just $97, you literally have access to the entire bundle of wisdom, and you can keep it for yourself. You can come back to it, implement one speaker's tactical tips, go back, implement it, earn some money, come back and do it again. A lot of women speakers actually really say that, Purvi, the signature program could be a costly program and we might not have money enough at particular time frame. And at that point in time, one of the things I really tell them is, it's all right, but think that you can earn money. Go and do the virtual summit. That's a very, very simple, small investment of $97. Learn and earn from that wisdom. Go implement it. Get 2-3 international clients. Get to your at least $2,000 a month or $3,000 a month. And then you will gain that confidence that I can reach the $10,000 a month mark, and then come apply for signature program. And I would be very, very delighted to consider your application again.
That's awesome. Wow. I'm excited just hearing you.
Awesome. I'm so
I like
glad.
what you're doing, because my heart goes out for women. So I like the idea that you are helping women, you know, with their businesses, most of all helping them get to those 10K months. And even if they can't, even if they're not accepted, you also provide resources, which is excellent. And $97 is not that bad. You know, it's very, well, everybody's different, but that's very good for the knowledge that you are providing. So if you are listening, please
Just
please
DM me.
consider.
Just DM me,
Yes.
and I will send you the details. It's the simplest processes. And one of the things that I'm just telling you right here from the wisdom collected on the social summit that I did, International Consulting Summit. When you're really getting clients on social media, try not to get really lost in the comments and everything else. Try and get the prospective leads, and that's what I'm doing, and that's what I'm teaching you. Try and get the prospective leads to the DM. Facebook Messenger is way better than just Facebook post comments or Facebook discussion groups. They obviously help you generate the outreach. But if you really have to have that, serve that client genuinely with your heart and passion, take them to the DM, take them to the Messenger, ask them to really message you there so that you can actually keep a track of who exactly contacted you and serve them. So, for example, if you really DM me, I would actually say, hey, okay, send me your email address and I will send you the details. Now I know that you're interested in really changing your life. I know that you want to earn more money. I know that you really want to do it. You might actually tell me, Purvi, hey, I just want free summit right now. And it's absolutely fine. And that's why I'm giving the entry level as free summit. But probably a year down the line, when you've learned enough from that and you're like, Purvi, is your batch open? Or maybe I'm actually opening my next cohort batch. I can just message you or email you and say, hey, now my batch is open. Do you want to come in? Are you prepared to come in the signature program? Have you earned enough through the wisdom collected in the virtual summit? If you say yes, you'll be more than delighted. And probably you'll say, thanks, Purvi, for informing me that the batch is open. Because later, if at all you would have come and it was closed, you would have still had to wait for the next cohort.
Right.
So please ensure that you use the Facebook Messenger, the DM, to really get clients who are prospects who you can serve better. First with the free value, because a lot of them might be hesitant to really purchase a big stock work or big product or big service from you, because it takes time to know, like, and trust other people. And
Right.
let us just respect that human emotion of giving some time to do the relationship building, but ensure that you follow up and you give them wisdom, timely wisdom when they need it, or give them options so that they can really come to your world and you can serve them.
Wow. Thank you so much for that content, that wisdom just in itself. That was a lot of wisdom. Thank you so much. What I'm about to do now, I'm going to bring Nel on. And so, our audience, if you have any questions right now, please, this is your time to ask any questions, any of our speakers, and they'll be happy to answer them for you. Someone just said that's good. Okay.
That's good.
Okay. I like the process for them. Got it. All right. So, hello, beautiful ladies. Thank you.
Hi.
Good evening. Good evening.
Hello.
Hi. Yes, I think this was earlier. Let's see here. Congratulations on your doctoral program. I think that was
Thank you. Appreciate it.
or I think this is for you, Nel. I think someone.
Oh, hi.
I think this is for you too.
Bronco pride, yes.
All right, excited. Yes. Let's see. All right. Let's see if anyone. Okay. All righty. Anything you would like to motivate our listeners before we turn it off or before we bring closure? Would you like to motivate Nel before we bring closure?
Well, I mean, if you have any questions for me, I think you can also DM me as well. I think I'm public. Yes, I am. Mm-hmm. So I know it was more about Black universities or Black college, any university, right. At this point. If this is what you want to do in life, you pick your why. What do you want to do in life? And that's what you stick with. Yes, I had a lot of support from my family, and then I went to a college where I gathered up more family members to help boost me and to push me to what I needed to do. And I thank God for that. And I would never, ever, ever take anything forward. And I instill that in my children. This is going to be the best years of your life when it comes down to meeting people, meeting new people, and having that connection. So whatever it is, whatever your why is, you make sure you do that, and you're going to be all right. Build that confidence. Whatever it is, doesn't matter. You pick it and you stay with it and you'll be fine.
Awesome.
I agree. I think it's so important. I actually resonated with your story a lot when you said, I didn't have that much of confidence earlier, but I gained it. And I could actually remember my story when I was in school. I was so hesitant to speak on stage and really had that fear of public speaking. And I would be like, oh, please don't give me a chance. Don't give me don't put me on stage. I would be scared. And trust me, I think somewhere the fear of public speaking is still there. And
well, you
I
did
still
well
get
on your TED talk because I saw you. Great.
And trust me, how about that? You did very well.
Yeah, I think before every talk, I'm telling you, like a few seconds before the talk, I really need to center myself.
That's natural. That's not
because there is that nervousness, and I think the only thing that I learned was just to flip that nervousness into excitement just before going to the stage. And that calms you down. But yeah, it's absolutely fine to have that fear of public speaking. And I totally related with when you were saying that, confidence does come with time. I had been there.
I think they have a question for you, Purvi.
Okay, how can you get over social anxiety? Would love to have a thriving business. All right. I think most of the time, the social anxiety comes because of the imposter syndrome, where you really feel, hey, I'm not good enough, or how will the people judge me? I think the moment you leave that aside, that trust me, people don't have time to judge you. I promise you. I mean, I actually decided, so I did my virtual summit, and I was like, hey, I'm going to interview so many women from all across the world, and I should be really looking good on the camera and this and that. And then I don't like, and it's very funny, but I don't like to do makeup. And I was like, I will just show up the way I like to be. And I said, for the entire virtual summit, I will not put makeup on my face. And I didn't except for kajal or eyeliner. That's it. And I just showed up. I know people will judge me. I know there will be comments which will be like, hey, she didn't even dress proper. Like I was dressing properly, but she didn't really have her hairdo properly done. She didn't really have her lipstick done. She didn't have something else done. But it's all right. Don't really worry, because even if people are really judging you, they're probably judging you because they are anxious in their own lives.
Exactly. Yes.
Good, they will not judge you. So don't worry about it. Social anxiety is always the fear of being judged. And number one, don't fear the judgment. Number two, if people are judging you, there's probably something that they need to work on themselves. So if somebody really writes a comment on me, I would possibly just have a good wishes coming from my heart to them that I hope whatever problem you have gets solved. Don't take it to yourself. There's something out there that you need to work on. And how do you have time to comment like this on me? Like, usually we're so overwhelmed as people. If you have time, that means there is something wrong going on there.
You got that much time. Please give me some of it.
And thirdly, if people are judging you, it's all right to be judged if you really feel so, because you can't have the entire world love you at the same time. And if you really stand for something, there would be people who will be against you. There will be people in favor of you. Trust me, the best thing is to really see the glass half full rather than half empty. Give respect and heed and a lot of love to people who are not in your space, but also ensure that you serve the ones who have said, yes, we are with you. So social anxiety will just go like that.
Oh, wow. That was so good. And I think someone had another statement for you.
All right. Mary keeps her business in judgment and big fear. Yeah, I think I absolutely understand. I mean, judgment is the biggest fear. And to be honest, that was the case with me. I mean, for 10 years of my consulting career, I remember showing up in office with proper hair and proper makeup was important. And when I just let that go, I was fine. Trust me. Nobody came to me and said, hey, you didn't really put your proper makeup. And the ones who came, I was like, it's okay. Bless you. My good wishes are with you. I understand that something needs to be worked on, and please do that.
Wow, that's good. Another question for you.
Did you share how you started consulting? Yeah, I would actually give you this brief story. So I was in Australia. I was selected for Australian Government Endeavour Scholarship, and I went to study there. and I was working in the international students office. So I was helping university administration in international admissions and everything else. Now you know how I know how to really run the admissions for MindWaves Consulting School.
Got it.
And I came back and I actually called up my India officer at that point in time and at the university in Australia. And I said, hey, this is what I want to do. I want to help students really figure out how they can study abroad and what they can do. And I remember it was 4 a.m. or 5 a.m. in India when I called him, because this idea came to me literally in the middle of the night. And he said, Purvi, your first contract is right away in your email in the next 24 hours. I will send it across and you start consulting for us, and we'll be happy to and delighted to have you. Because he knew me, he had worked with me, he had that rapport. That's the beginning of my consulting career as a global consultant when I landed back in India. And for 10 years, I've helped students and families and universities in over 17 countries.
Wow.
And then I started mentoring women. And this is like so exciting because I can really teach everybody whatever I learned. And I remember, I think I reached my first $10,000 a month in the second year of my consulting career, which was like, I was a baby then, like, literally out of school, came back to India, was just chit-chatting with families and telling career options and education options all around. And I was like, really, 1 month can get you this much of money? So I think it's all about just being focused, knowing what you want to do. And one more strategy here as a consultant, if you really want to be a consultant, pick up a niche. Like for 10 years of my career, I was known as an overseas education counselor and a career counselor. So anybody who actually saw somebody thinking, hey, I want to go abroad to study, people can say, hey, go to Purvi, she will help you. So be recommendable. And if you're recommendable, even if you're beginning, like I'm starting my MindWaves Global now, right? I just told you 1st January was the first formal cohort. And I know I have way bigger mission in this one because I can control it. When I was helping universities to get students, I had to answer questions as to what university would fit you, how will the university feel, and how will the university be a good fit for you. Now I have the university in my hand.
Wow, you have your own university. Yes.
Yeah, I have my own school. So I can actually tell you with more confidence what you will get. I can give you that confidence. I know that I can take you and I can actually change your life. So I'm starting. So if you're really just starting, just start like me. And just to tell you, it's really vulnerable and it's really courageous. But what I really started was from day one of MindWaves Consulting School, which I opened on 1st of January this year, 2020, I started writing my diary entry every single day on a blog. So I go in the morning, day 1 of MindWaves, this is what I did. Day 2 of MindWaves, these are the mistakes I did. Day 3 of MindWaves, I screwed up badly. I every single thing as my journey there because I remember somebody actually asking me the same question. How did you start? And I was like, now I'm starting afresh. This is an all new career for me because I haven't really done it formally. I know how to become a consultant. And if I can teach other consulting women how to become consultant, how to start from scratch, I can also start from scratch.
Yeah.
Why not? And let's be real rather than me telling here, for example, when I was asked here, hey, how many batches have you done? I was upfront enough saying this is my first batch. I'm a newbie in this particular industry. But can I grow big? The answer is yes. Can I really learn without mistakes? Probably no. So
Right.
and I'm doing mistakes. And just because I know females will come to me later and say, Purvi, how did you do this one? I was like, why don't I just start documenting it? So every single day, I go online and I write what I did, how I felt, what are the mistakes, what are the commitments I did to myself and I failed at it. I literally write it because it's okay to fail at your commitments. It's okay to not judge yourself, saying, hey, I didn't do it well, or I promised myself and I failed. And this is something that I learned in London. And I think a lot of you, if at all you have been to London or you are from United Kingdom, last year, not this year, 2019, 1st of January, I was sitting in the cathedral in with the Pope, with the Father there.
Wow.
I actually spent like everybody in my family was sleeping after partying really, really hard in London. And I got up. I have a 3-year-old daughter now who was 2+ at that point in time. I got up at 6 a.m. in the morning and the cathedral was very, very close to the hotel I was staying in. I took my daughter in the stroller. I went to the cathedral from 6 a.m. to probably 1 p.m. I was just sitting there. I'm a Hindu, but I believe in all gods. And I remember I was just sitting there, and because the father saw me there like since morning, and I was just there, just be with myself, just playing with my daughter around. And he was sitting with me and he was speaking to me. And I told him that I just love the feeling of this cathedral. I've been to so many cathedrals and churches across the world, but this really somewhere resonated deeply with me. And I told him that I want to come here every single year. He said, it's all right to come if you want to and if you can. But if there are days and there are years when you can't, always remember that God forgives you. And I saw your tagline and I was like, Nancia, it is like so beautiful, because this is what I learned that day on 1st of January, that it's all right to make commitments to yourself and fail. Or maybe situations are like that you couldn't really commit to you couldn't do what you had committed to yourself. So it's all right to fail. So when I fail as a consultant on a single day, or I fail at somebody who's teaching something. So for example, I teach everybody have time for family. Yesterday, because my entire schedule from 6 a.m. to 12, literally 10:30 p.m. in the night was booked because of the virtual summit interviews like this you're doing.
Right.
I actually knew I didn't have time for family yesterday. I didn't play with my daughter as much as I wanted to. And I had put it up on my Calendly. We use Calendly just to make each other accountable. So the beautiful app, just go and download it and use it to really manage your time. I showed it in my group. I said, see, this is what it is. And I didn't have time for myself.
Being transparent. Yes.
Yeah.
And it's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to say that, hey, I know I'm preaching this, but I didn't do it today because I have learned why I didn't do it today. And I can probably tell you better tomorrow how to really get out of it. So
that is so good. That is so
that.
good. Wow. It's so good. Oh, wow. I think we have another question here saying, where can we find more information about your program?
DM me and I will send you. Because as I said, ensure that your leads, your prospective clients, people who really want to be served by you and you really want to help them, you need to have a place where you really can exchange communication. So just DM me. My link would be there. Probably Nancia would put it, or she can just put my Facebook link and just DM me and I will send across the details of the course and the summit. Yeah, I completely agree. Transparency is great. And I think it develops a beautiful connection. You know, there was a time when we all were so scared that, hey, we need to really look professional. We need to tell everything is going great. And a lot of times you really have, oh my God, how can I tell them that I'm just starting new? It's all right to tell them, because trust me, when you're starting new, the passion is way different.
That's true. That is true. Wow. Nel, I think that's for you right here, I think.
Yeah, just right. So many people.
What you're saying about the family.
Yes, definitely a family. And I was reading some text messages. I guess they didn't want to ask questions out here. They was texting me. And you know, and they said, "Now you're right on the money when it comes to a family and love homecoming." I missed a few because of my children, and I felt like I said, "No, I'm not going there looking like a balloon." But when you go back and you see what everybody's doing and how they progressed, and you know, it's just family. And then a lot of times, you know what? That's just the time to get away, to leave work. It's not like we there just talking about, you know, passing out business cards and stuff like that. We just trying to be us again, like we were 30, 40 years ago.
Got it.
I love the atmosphere again, and you know, just to see where everybody's at, and again, their confidence level, what they're doing, and you know, yeah, we may talk a little bit about it, but it's mainly about, girl, you remember when we did this? Oh,
yes.
come on, when we did that. You know, just to bring back just so many wonderful memories. You know, and you know, life is so short, so we have to monopolize on everything, you know, when it comes to being together. Because, you know, just recently, you know, one of our found out someone passed away. You know, it's something every homecoming that we go to, we find out someone has left.
Okay.
Wow. And it kind of is a damper, but then too, it helps us to still kind of stay together and know what this is all about. You know, again, it's about family and pushing each other.
Wow. That is so good. I think she said here, value first, give value first. Wow. That's good. And to be honest with you, that's a lot of leadership now, a lot of companies now are trying to encourage value, because
Right.
most of the time they focus more on producing or the outcome and not
When you get the values producing, it's going to come. I mean,
exactly. Yeah.
it's going to automatically be in you because you see what you need to do. You're going to want to do better
Mm-hmm.
in everything, in every area of your life. So once you get the values down, everything else will fall in line.
That is so good. Wow. I think we have him. Oh, she said, yeah. She just repeated what you indicated.
Yeah, like, man, please.
Wow.
It's still a good thing. We still, we may pass it out everything, but it's like, come on, y'all. We talk about back in the day. And
which is just like a family, which is great.
It is. I mean, it's
you're not
like
trying to sell your product.
Right. I mean, you're not just saying they're passing out no business cards. I mean, come on.
I love it. Oh, I love it. I love it. And now it makes sense. It makes so much sense. So thank you both. Thank you both for your content, your information. But if you don't mind, will you please leave your information at the end of the video, because you're going to see the comments. Just put your information so they can contact you. Just put a little smaller note after we finish the interview.
At the live one? Okay.
Yeah, at the end of the live one is going to have, like, we can still watch it if they desire.
Okay.
However, you just type in just you can just put your business page or your page, whatever, or even your email address so they can contact you from that, if that's okay with you. If you're a part of the Women Who Thrive group, you can also put underneath, because it's showing both locations, put underneath both those locations. What I do is I will tag you underneath.
Sure, do that. I think that's better. Yeah, we'll do that.
Okay.
Awesome.
Well, thank you so much, ladies. Y'all want to say bye to everyone?
Bye. Thank you.
Thanks.
All righty. Well, everyone, thank you all so much for watching. We really appreciate you all watching Raw Stories. We're excited about even next week for the young ladies. I think it's a young man as well. On next week, we're going to talk about business as well as an experience. Thank you for watching Raw Stories. If you have any questions or concerns or even advice, please know you can DM me as well. And we appreciate you and thank you. I think people are saying thank you. You are welcome. Thank you all for watching. And we are very excited about seeing you all on next week at 8 p.m. So meet us here on Raw Stories and Women Who Thrive, as well as my personal page. God bless.